Hi, everybody. It is episode 574 PodQuest.
Hey.
It is Wednesday, August 13th, 2025. I am Chris. With me is Drootin.
Hello.
And Walnut.
Yeah, I'm here.
Man, I definitely put August 13th, and I looked at the date earlier. But when I just said it, I'm like, wait, is today the 13th or is today the 12th? Because something I looked at earlier was set to the 12th, and I guess it was from yesterday. But that definitely threw me off there for a second.
Yeah, it's definitely the 13th. Been the 13th all day.
I don't like it.
I mean, it could be the 12th, so you never know.
I mean, it could be the 12th and also be Friday.
I mean, that's the thing. It could be Friday. That would be nice. But then that would be the 15th and not the 12th. Or the 13th.
That is true. I very much prefer it to be Friday.
I very much prefer time to continue to move forward and not backward. That's what I prefer.
Yeah.
That too. How you guys doing otherwise, though?
All right.
Yeah, can't complain too much. Just tired, like usual. You know, the life of me.
Have you considered sleeping?
Dude, what time did I go to bed yesterday? Probably like 1, maybe 12. But I've tried
And then you
sleeping.
wake up at 8:30, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a lot of sleep. You should maybe
mean,
go to bed earlier.
They say 8 hours. If I go to bed at 12, I'm asleep by 12:30 at the latest. I'm not like you. Like, I don't go to bed unless I'm falling asleep or, like, I know I'm going to fall asleep right away. Like, there have been times where I've gotten a little bit of insomnia where I go to bed and it's like, right, it takes me an hour to fall asleep. And I don't like those days. So that's why I just wait until I'm falling asleep before I go to sleep. Before I go to bed.
Yeah, that's the wrong way to do it. Go to bed at 10 o'clock, lay there for 3 hours, then fall asleep.
You're still getting less sleep than I am.
I don't know about that.
Because you wake up at 6.
I also don't lay there for 3 hours. It usually takes me about an hour to fall asleep.
Exactly. It takes you about an hour to fall asleep. You get up at, 6? So...
Yeah, between 5:30 and 6.
I'm actually probably getting more sleep than you.
Yeah, actually, I usually get probably around 7 hours. But you are more tired than me, so maybe you need less sleep.
No. Wake
up earlier. Wake up at 6 tomorrow.
No.
Think about all the extra things you could get done in your day.
It wouldn't get done because I would be too tired to get started with anything at 6:30 in the morning.
Or maybe you'd be totally energized and ready to go for the day.
No, that's not true. That's not how that works for me.
You don't know.
Look, the fact that I can't have coffee really does mess with me. So that's really mostly it. No caffeine makes me sleepy boy.
That sounds like an addiction.
No, I haven't had coffee in upwards of a year now. I'm just saying.
Have you tried the non-coffee caffeine stuff, or does that fuck with you too?
It's caffeine. It's the caffeine that's the problem. So I would need non-caffeinated energy stuff, non-caffeine energy things, and it's rough because generally that would be vitamin C, which also oranges. They're high, vitamin C is high in acidity, and so that also gives me a problem. But I haven't really had orange juice in a while. There used to be a while where I would have, in the morning, I would have a glass of orange juice, a glass of coffee, a glass of water, and my breakfast all at the same time. And so that probably... Look, being undiagnosed, I can't quite say it, but that's just the neurodivergent in me. You need to have water for hydration, water for energy, and water for fun. Or liquid for fun. It's liquid for hydration, liquid for energy, and liquid for fun. That's how neurodivergent works. Generally, so you'll have a coffee, you'll have a water, and you'll have a juice or an alcohol or something like that.
I've just never been that thirsty to have that many drinks.
I'm not that thirsty. It's what I need. In the mornings, it would be all right, I need some flavor, but I also need coffee, but I also know neither of these are going to hydrate me as much, so I also need water because I should just have the water in front of me and I should drink more of it.
What if you do you actually get a little anxiety if you don't have all the beverages?
No, but it's just in general, that's generally when I'm sitting at home, you've seen it when we had game nights. I generally have at least 2 drinks in front of me. I'll have a water and something else in front of me at all times. And it's not anxiety ridden. It's just sometimes I just want to have a sip of water. Sometimes I want to have a sip of something that is flavored or has a little bit of energy boosting in it and stuff like that. So I'll tend to have the combination chai tea, like the what is it from Mala that I get? The refreshers that'll have like both fruit and a little bit of caffeination in it. And so it'll be both, and I'll have like that fun flavor plus a little bit of the caffeine, and I'll have my water too. Like it's just how it is. It's kind of a texture thing, and it's kind of just like a how am I feeling kind of thing, and yeah.
Yeah.
Lately, it's been just seltzer water and regular water because I need that spicy water.
I like that. That spicy water.
I mean, it's bubbly water. It's either tickly water or it's spicy water, and I like spicy water better. I like calling it spicy water. But yeah, and it's actually, to be 100% honest, I got a Soda Stream for my birthday. It's helped me not want to buy soda because it's just like I really only got soda for the bubbles, and that was it.
And like honestly, like some of the like little like flavor things that aren't like sugary ones are actually pretty good.
I got one flavor thing with my Soda Stream, and I used it, and I didn't like it.
That's fair.
It's just been straight up just bubbly water that I've been drinking whenever I use it.
Yeah, like we have one too, and like it is awesome, and like we just have like little they basically turn them into LaCroix. Like that's the easiest way to put it. Not all of them are good, but some of them are.
I had like a bubbly lemon lime thing, and I didn't like it. I poured, and like I thought I read it right that I was supposed to pour the whole bottle in. Maybe I poured too much of it in. It was a small little like it was smaller than a shot bottle, or it was about the size of like the small little liquor shot bottles that I just poured all into it and shook it around. I was like, I don't like this flavor at all. So maybe I just don't like bubbly. But I've been thinking of getting like the Pepsi stuff because like the amount of sugar that would, I don't know, it'd probably be the same. I don't know if it'd be healthier or not. I don't really know. But right now I'm fine with just drinking bubbly water for now.
That's understandable. Like if you like the bubbly water, why not?
Yeah.
Well, I guess with all that said, what is on the agenda?
It's a very, very loaded week this week. We got so much to talk about. I played a game called Peak, and Cobb, you read some books. So busy.
Yeah.
So busy. Incredibly busy week.
I am still unpacking, and work has been crazy. So I have not had much time for anything.
Oh, you had enough time to read books, so you've had time for stuff.
One of those books was at the beginning of July.
Sure.
Actually, I can tell you exactly when it was, because Goodreads. I read it from July 16th to the 18th, to the middle of July. But Rich, what is Peak?
All right. So remember how Celeste is climbing a mountain?
Yes.
So Peak is climbing a mountain, but silly.
Are you saying Celeste isn't silly?
Celeste is not silly.
It's definitely not silly in the way Peak is.
Yeah, no.
Oh, have you played Peak 2, Drew?
I haven't, but I watched the Giant Bomb play it, and yeah, it is a silly game.
So what it is you play as a group of scouts, like Boy Scouts, or Girl Scouts, or just a scout troop in general, and your plane crashes on your way on a trip, and in order to like get help, you need to climb a mountain, and you're all little kids trying to climb a mountain, and so like it's. The controls are really easy. It's just like if you're trying to climb, you click your left mouse, and you start climbing up the side of the hill and stuff like that. So it's really fun and silly. It's very cute and adorable looking. You can like mess around with what your character looks like, and based on achievements and things like that you complete when you're climbing the mountain, you get different badges and things like that and achievements to like unlock more decoration and character upgrades, not upgrades, but character cosmetic items. And it's really it's an interesting game because the seed changes daily and then the map changes weekly. So like every day the map is a little bit different from the day before, but like I don't know what day the week changes. I guess probably Tuesday. Every Tuesday I would say the whole map loadout changes a lot.
Okay, that's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, and it's just it's climbing. It doesn't take if you do it properly, upwards 3 to 4 hours to like if you do it slow and methodic, upwards of about 3 to 4 hours to get to the top of the mountain, to get to the peak and get rescued. but it could take you longer. But it's just like it's one of those fun, silly games to play with your friends that like you're sitting there. It's got great proximity chat, which I'm so happy. A lot of games are incorporating really good proximity chat. And it's like to the point where if I'm up higher than you and I'm like talking louder into my mic, you'll be hearing my echoes and reverberations as I'm trying to get information down to you. It's not just like, oh, you're not right next to me, you don't hear me. Like, it is good proximity chat, and that's something I think a lot of games nowadays need to do is proximity chat. One of the reasons why
it's definitely getting more popular in games, that's for sure.
It's one of the reasons why I prefer Lockdown Protocol over Among Us, is because in Lockdown Protocol you've got that proximity chat, whereas in Among Us you don't, and so you can't like get the attention of somebody else when you're playing together. Unless you mod it and stuff. But yeah, it's like it's an indie game. It came out within the past 2 months, I think. I don't even know. And it's I guess a mountain climbing simulator, but not really. That they recently released a patch that added a new biome. So the original biomes were it's the grass, the jungle, the ice, the ruins, I guess, or the lava ruins, and then the volcano. And now for this week's seed, instead of the ice area, you have a desert and mesa that you have to like cross. There's like actually a ravine in the desert that you have to find a way to get across before you can even start climbing the mountain itself. And the whole game is like you've got you have a stamina bar that doubles as your weight, your hunger, your health, and your status bar, basically. So your stamina bar is full when you first land, and then the longer you play, it starts to the one end of the bar starts to fill up the hungrier you get. Or the more you're carrying, it starts to fill up and it takes away that much stamina. Or if you fall and you take some damage, it takes away more stamina. So you have to manage eating and healing yourself and being on high enough stamina to be able to track a good way to climb the mountain. Because there's no one way to do it. There's multiple ways to do it. There's no like direct, obvious path to get across. And so if you're in a region, say you're in the volcano region or the lava region, and you touch fire and you get burned, you have a little fire debuff on your stamina bar that like eventually will disappear. Or if you get poisoned in the jungle biome, you have like a poison debuff that will slowly disappear over time and get smaller, which will regenerate your stamina. It's a really cool, like, instead of having to track 6 different bars, it's literally just one fucking bar. And it works. It's like, this is what tracks everything. There's like different items you can collect, food items, like you can get trail mix, you can get thin mints, basically. It's like mint scout cookies is what they're called. At the top, each biome has like a top point that you can get to, and each of those upper points has like a what's it called? A campfire that you can roast some marshmallows on and eat the marshmallows to boost your stamina. And some of the food you eat will give you additional stamina. Or if you drink an energy drink, you get a lot of stamina really fast, and then you get sleepy for a bit. And your your bar fills up with a sleep meter. Or the same with like there's a giant lollipop that if you eat it, you get a sugar rush. And then you get sleepy for a bit after you have that sugar rush. The new biome is really cool because it's a desert. So if you walk out into the open space of the desert, you start to get sunburn. So you can find like sunscreen to block it, or you have to go into caves or go under some shadows and things like that. Whereas in the ice biome, you have to eat a hot pepper to stay warm while climbing the ice biome. Or like in the jungle, it'll rain every once in a while, and during the rain, it's harder to climb. So you'll slip more. It'll take more of your stamina to climb up and stuff like that. It's a fun game. It's silly. I've watched people play and get all the way to the top, and it's a good time. They recently in this update added a cannibalism update, So
Jesus.
if you get hungry enough, your party walks around, your party, everyone you're with, you look at them, they look like a cooked chicken. And so
Nice.
you can eat them and they will die immediately and you will fill up your food. You can turn that off if you don't like it. We didn't get hungry enough to that point. We almost did. There was there was four of us playing last night and then two left, and so it was just the two of us. And it was getting to a point where we were both incredibly hungry, but he had taken damage, so we couldn't just sit there and wait for us to get hungry enough to be able to eat one or the other. But yeah, so they turn into a chicken or a turkey or cooked turkey or chicken, and you can just eat them, and it's hilarious. There's a little
That's dark but funny.
Yeah, the team that made this game, the developer, or not the developer, is it the developer? Is it the publisher? Oh wow, the publisher also did another Crab's Treasure. Or one of the publishers. Maybe it's Landfall. It's the other publisher. I'm trying to remember. There's another game that the publisher or developer had made. It's one of the publishers, so it's Landfall. They have a game called Cluster Truck, where you're like jumping along trucks going down like a roadway, and you have to dodge obstacles and things like that, and jump from like semi-truck to semi-truck. It's very interesting, very weird. The developers had made a way to where like they can backdoor themselves into your game and interact with your game while you're playing it. And so they'll like interact with streamers while they're playing the game in Cluster Truck. Well, they did the same thing in Peak, where there's a little doll that you find. His name is Bing Bong. He's just this weird little alien doll. And if you're carrying Bing Bong around with you, the publisher or whoever is in charge of this can key into it and talk to you through Bing Bong.
That's kind of awesome.
It's both awesome and weird at the same time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty cool that they can do it. Obviously, it hasn't happened to me. My goal right now, every time I play, is to get Bing Bong to the top of the mountain, because like I'm not leaving Bing Bong behind. When you land, there's like an exploration manual. There's Bing Bong. There's like a bugle that you can blow the horn off, and like a compass and things like that. Stuff you don't really need, because you're just going up, really. And yeah, it's just a silly fun game that like it's adorable watching your like kitty hands climbing the side of the mountain, and it's like you can climb everything kind of thing. So it's not like you're not looking for the yellow pieces to reach and climb up to. It's like Breath of the Wild and stuff, where it's if there's a wall face, you can climb it, kind of thing.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and
I like how games have started doing that sort of thing. Like they put some limitation on it, like just based on like the world, but like generally it's like you said, you find a surface, odds are you can climb it.
Yeah, like in this game, there's even like little trees that have overhanging like leaves. If you jump and grab a leaf, you can climb up the leaves onto the top of the trees. Like you can climb everything. If you touch a cactus, you get the castles or not castle. Cactus like stickers all over you, and you have to have somebody pull them out, or that affects your stamina. It's really cool. And then there's like some fun items, like there's an anti-gravity rope. So what you do is you release it out and it'll go up, and you like stick it down into the ground, and you can climb this rope upwards. That's anti-gravity. And then there's a regular rope that you can like throw down and stick it down, and people can climb up it. And it's easier to climb the rope than it is to climb a sheer wall face and stuff like that. It is definitely a game made for like group play, but it's like there is a solo mode, but it's definitely made for group play, and it's a fun, silly game. I've been wanting to buy it for a while. It came out June 16th, and I've been wanting to buy it pretty much since I learned about it, and just haven't had the money to, and had a friend buy it for me because he wanted to stream it with me yesterday, and so we did. It was fun.
Nice. Yeah, it sounds like it could actually be a pretty cool game.
Yeah, I suggest everyone check it out and just look at how adorable the character models are and stuff like that. It's just so fun and silly.
Is it? Excuse me. Is it just a Steam game? Do you know?
Yeah, it's only Steam. I don't think it's out for anything else. Um,
Excuse me.
it is playable on Steam Deck,
Well, you know what? That is actually very helpful.
and it's only $5 right now. It's on sale until the 18th.
Oh,
So
not even $5. $4.95.
exactly. So now's a good time to buy it because it's less than $10. It's an $8 game.
Yeah.
Like, it's definitely worth the price. It's not that, like, I didn't want to pay the price. It's just money's been tight. For fucking summer, money's always tight for me. So
Yep.
I just haven't had it.
Have you considered making it not tight?
I mean, I was hoping this thing called a raise would happen that, like,
No, man. Employers suck.
finally we're getting in mid-August, and I only got a 4% raise. I did so good this year that I got a 4% raise instead of a 3% raise.
Right, you were talking about that. When was that? Last week?
On
Friday?
On Friday, yeah. At the show.
That feels like a lifetime ago.
Yeah, it was like 5 days ago. Yeah, I got a 4 on my yearly review, a 4 out of 5 on my yearly review, and so I got a 4% increase instead of getting a 3% increase for getting like a 3.5.
Hey, man, every little bit helps, right? Right?
It's not even a fucking $1 an hour. It's 96 fucking cents.
Yeah, no, that is actually bullshit.
It's barely $1,000 a year.
Yeah, that is actual garbage.
Yeah.
Like that's basically the sort of raise you get in like a part-time retail job.
Exactly. It's bullshit. So yeah, I was hoping because my department had done a lot of stuff over the past 6 to 8 months. I was like, okay, we flat out created a whole new department that's saving the company millions of dollars. It's going to be reflected somehow. Nope, not at all. So,
well, I mean, it's reflected somewhere, just not with you. That's
yeah.
You know.
Well, see, it's the fact that we're saving the company money, meaning because we're doing this, the company doesn't have to pay it out. So, like, I'm not making them money. They're just not paying money out. So they don't care, in a sense. Like, it's not like we got them more money. They just don't have to pay some money out or something. Right. I don't really know. I don't know, like, what the importance of what we do is.
Yeah, no, I mean, none of it's really important. All of it sucks. And fuck those people.
Yeah, I mean, if people would have just done their fucking job over the last 4 years, then my department wouldn't even exist. We're fixing everyone else's problems. It's that simple.
Well, stop fixing problems.
I wish I could, but it's my job. But yeah, I suggest everyone, like, honestly, it would be if the three of us got Peak and we just did like a video of us playing Peak on our YouTube, it would be great. It would be a great time. Yeah, it's not a hard game. It's not like something difficult. It's not scary. It's not like Repo or anything. It is just straight up like you just climb, and the only threat is that if you take too long, the fog will rise, and like if it engulfs you, then you die. You can't just stand there forever. Once you reach a checkpoint, you can hang out at that checkpoint, which is the bonfires or the campfires. But like once you leave the campfire, you can't just stop. You have to keep moving. That's the only thing about the game. You can explore a bit, but for the most part, specifically and especially once you start climbing, you have to keep climbing.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah. Because like each region, when you get to like, say you get from the beach to the forest or the jungle, there's like you get to the campfire and then you have to drop down a bit to get into the jungle and then start climbing up afterwards. So it's like the fog will start to rise once you start climbing up after you touch the floor of the jungle. I don't know the timing of that, but there are like environmental threats and things like that happen, like the rain, the sun, there's tornadoes, and like there are some like creatures in the desert that like scorpions that'll come at you. Or our thing was we kept running into dynamite that's just laying around all over the ground in the desert. That if you get too close, it'll just light and blow up. It's great. I love the game. I think it's so fun and silly, and like I'm excited to see what else the developers will do for it, if they're going to keep updating it, and what they're going to keep throwing into it.
I mean, it looked like this game just recently came out too, right?
Yeah, June. Yeah.
Yeah,
and
so only time will tell.
there was even an update today. So like they just like the Mesa update came out on the 11th, and then they've been doing patch updates and fixing things because there were some bugs and issues with some of the badges and things like that you get. Like I got an achievement for doing something that I didn't even do. But I think they might have fixed that. No, it's still there. So there's a new item in the game, which is it's called the Scout Cannon. And you can set it up and place it, and then you climb into it, and you light it, and you can shoot somebody out of it. And so there is, like I said, there's like the little ravine in the desert. An objective or an achievement for that is to fire somebody across the mesa from the cannon, which is just like that's great. That's great.
I'm sorry. This is completely unrelated. I'm throwing something into the chat here. I very rarely look at stuff on Facebook anymore, but I just flicked over to it and saw this immediately. And I thought this was very funny.
Oh, boy. I, too, am trying to figure out the Whitney Houston part. This is great. That's what I figured was Coke.
Oh, right.
But I wasn't thinking Coke the soda. I was literally thinking cocaine. So for the listener here on this audio podcast, it's a meme that says, "Oh, it's a soda machine from like a restaurant, and it's got iced tea where the iced tea would be, ice cube where the ice cubes would be, and it's got Whitney Houston from the Coke dispenser. It's got pictures of them instead of it saying."
Yeah, it's quite good. It made me chuckle. But anyway, Rich, you got anything else you want to say about Peak?
No. I'll definitely be playing it again. I was actually asked to play it while we were recording just now, but I already have plans to play Repo tonight after we're done recording. So, I'll definitely.
I did buy it, so we shall see if I actually ever play it.
Drew, now you got to buy it, and then the three of us can play it and be silly.
I will get it.
It's only $4.85 or something like that. I forget what I said it was.
Yeah,
$4.95 or something. Yeah.
But I guess we will move on. So aside from Rich playing that game, I did over the last month. I read two things. One of them was the Mel Brooks memoir from a couple of years ago. I don't know that I mentioned this at all, like after I read it, but it is fascinating to read like a book like this from a guy who's still alive, talking about things that happened almost 100 years ago. Like he wrote this when he was like 92 years. So he's talking about like early childhood memories in like the 30s, and then like during the war, the 50s, the 60s, like kind of like as he was getting his start in entertainment, before it kind of like really took off in like the late 60s and 70s with like the Producers and Blazing Saddles, and then History of the World and Spaceballs and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like it's cool. So the first, let's say like third of the book or so is mostly like it's broken up into like life segments, essentially, like early childhood, like adolescence into like young adulthood, his time like writing for TV and things like that. And then once it hits the point where he starts doing like his own movies, every chapter is just a movie. And like around the movie is like the other stuff that was happening in his life. But like when he talks about when he gets to like the era of the Producers, it's just a long chapter kind of focusing on the, 5 or so years where like he worked on that movie, like pre-production, post-production, like the release of it, all that stuff. And at that point he starts jumping around a little bit too, because you have things like in the early 2000s, they did the Broadway show for the Producers that then turned into the remake movie with Nathan Lane and Matthew Broderick.
Mm-hmm.
And like Nathan Lane and Matthew Broderick were Zira Mentel and fucking Willy Wonka. Shit, what's his name? What was Willy Wonka's name? Gene Wilder.
Yeah. I almost said
Gene Wilder's character.
Gene came to me, and then I couldn't remember the last name.
They played like their parts just in like the modern day. So it was cool to kind of like hear like all this stuff, and I was flipping back and forth between like the ebook for it and the audiobook, and he read like he was the narrator of the audiobook. So like hearing his actual delivery of some of the stuff, sometimes it almost felt like a stand-up routine. Like, you know how like when like certain stand-ups, they're not just telling jokes, they're like telling like stories and anecdotes and stuff like that about like things that like really happened to them, but then they put like the little like joke spin at the end. That's how a lot of the stories were kind of. And on some of them, he would kind of like say like a joke, and you could tell that he was like adding like a punchline to it, because and like within like a page after that, he'd be like, but really, here's what happened. And generally, like the story was still very similar, but it was just fun the way he was kind of balancing a comedy act with like telling his actual story. And then, like there were a handful of like really touching things in it too. Like he was in Europe, like in the military during World War II, and I forget, I think it was during Young Frankenstein he talked about it or something like that. He was in Europe again, and some of the people that he was working with, he decided to like basically like take them on like a trip as like a thank you, and went to like this old farm that he had actually like stayed at in France when he was in the army. And it was, you know, like 15 years later or something like that. And when he knocks on the door and somebody opens it, it's just like it's a guy he's never seen before. And the guy recognized him as the soldier that like lived with him, but like he was all grown up. Like the last time Mel Brooks had seen him, he was like a small child. So like stuff like that was like actually like kind of like super touching about the book. But like overall, just hearing kind of like how he got his start, and like how all of those movies got made, and how like some of them like almost shouldn't have. Like Blazing Saddles, for instance, almost didn't happen by just like a series of like casting misfortunes. Like so Richard Pryor was originally supposed to be in Blazing Saddles and actually helped like develop the movie, but for whatever reason, like the studio didn't want to cast him, so they had to find a different African American actor for that role, because that was the whole point of the role. And then I forget the actor's name that they got for what would be Gene Wilder's role, but apparently that guy had had a very bad alcohol addiction. They were told that he was like recovering, but he wasn't recovering, he was actually withdrawing. So like he showed up on set the first day to like do a scene and just got violently sick and like sent to the hospital. The only reason that like they were able to actually still make the movie was like Gene Wilder agreed to legitimately fly out the next day from New York and like join the production, like with like zero prep time or anything. He just dropped everything and flew out there to do it, which like I actually thought was kind of cool. But yeah, it was just one of those, like, not every memoir is like entertaining, but like this one like very much was. And like he kind of leaned into like a lot of like the shtick for stuff, but still kept it like he kept to his story. Like he embellished things and all, and like that everyone does, but like he at least kept it funny, embellishing, and not just making himself out to seem like bigger. And he was also very I can't think of the right word. Like generous isn't the word I want to use, but it's the only word I can think of. Like when it came to like talking about other people, like every time something came up with somebody else, whether it was like a family member, like an actor, like a person he worked with, like he just kind of went like above and beyond saying nice things about them, in a way that like a lot of times in these memoirs, like you just don't hear. And like especially from a guy who's literally writing like 90 years worth of stuff down. My only real complaint is it's just old enough now that it didn't include Spaceballs 2 as like his next chapter, because that just got announced like 2 months ago.
Yeah, something like that.
And this book came out in 21, I believe. So like it ends with him kind of talking about like he's still interested in making movies even into his 90s. But like obviously I think that was even before History of the World Part 2. I don't think that was in the book at all. So like it kind of like predates his kind of like, I don't want to call it a renaissance because it's really just two things he's worked on recently, but kind of predates that stuff from happening. But overall, like just a super enjoyable book. And whether you get like the actual like physical or ebook or the audiobook, like both of them are actually really good. And it's always cool when like the actual person does the narration. Just because like they're better at delivering how they meant things than somebody else is going to be, or how you're going to read it in your head. And a lot of times that can help influence how you read it in your head. Like it lets you hear their voice better when you know how they're delivering it, which is a weird thing to say, right? And the other one I read was called Magpie Murders, which is like a whodunit, which honestly, like, I don't usually care for. Like, I find them like they're always a little predictable, just because like they have a very common setup and everything to them. But this one was interesting because it's actually two different whodunits kind of like wrapped together. And I didn't entirely understand that at the beginning. So the intro to the book is written by an editor who is like talking about how this book kind of ruined their life. But they don't really go into why. They just kind of like explain that like it was a mistake to read it. And then it goes into the fictitious author of the Magpie Murders. And as it gets into it, you realize that the Magpie Murders is a book, like in a book. And it takes 200 or 300 pages before that becomes apparent in the book. I read the back of it after the fact, and like it's kind of like you get that from if you read like the back of the book stuff. But like the first 200 pages are just it's a whodunit. It's a kind of like Hercule Poirot-esque detective who comes to like this small town where these like seemingly accidental deaths occurred, but there's a bunch of potential suspects that maybe they weren't accidental deaths, until it gets to a point where it's the reveal is supposed to happen, and then it changes POV to the editor from the introduction, as she is reading the book and realizing that, well, she's reading the manuscript of the book from the author and realizes that the last section is gone and that the actual revelation of the killer is missing. And in the book, Magpie Murders is the final novel in like that detective's like series. Like the author is done with it after that. So it's kind of a big deal that they have a completed manuscript before she can actually like reach out to the author that she is the editor for. He seemingly commits suicide, and he's he is one of those like big name authors where like his books sell millions of copies in thousands of countries and have been translated all over the world and all that shit. So it's like a whole big deal. And there's all these clues that line up with he probably committed suicide. But for whatever reason, the editor just, as she's trying to find these missing pages, just starts getting like a feeling like maybe that's not the case. And it becomes like a separate whodunit of who what happened to the author, as you start to like untangle how much of his real life he put into these books with like the characters and the locations, and maybe he plagiarized some stuff, maybe he didn't. Like it just kind of spirals from there, until at the end you actually get like both revelations. So you get the editor, her finding out who the actual killer was, confronting them going to jail, and then her also getting the final pages of the book and getting to read the end of that too, and how like both of them kind of like actually work together in a weird way. It was a surprising read though, and I ended up not being super into it during like the more traditional, like it was set in the 50s whodunit thing. But then by the end I'm like, oh, like this, like I was actually super invested in it, and it's apparently the first book in like at least a series of 3. So I'm actually curious to see how that story continues, because at least the way this one ended, it had a very kind of definitive ending. Like, and I can't imagine this book editor who is no longer editing books at the end, for various reasons, ends up like on more like detective trips when she had like a very bad time with the one that she just did. So yeah, interesting stuff that I'm sure you guys actually do not give a single shit about.
I mean, is what it is.
Yeah, I just got nothing else, and it's easy to have an audiobook playing while I'm unpacking.
That's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I got. Anything else?
Me and the friends are just on that college football dynasty grind. They added cross-platform to it this time, so there's 7 of us playing now.
Wait, what?
Yeah, on college football 26 in dynasty mode, they added cross-platform this year. So there's 2 of us on PlayStation, and then our 5 friends on Xbox, and we have 7 different teams in this college football season going.
So what is
Nice.
it like? Each of you has your own team, and
Yep.
anytime you play each other, you actually play each other.
Yep, and then otherwise we just play against CPU or sim games, whatever other people want to do. And then in between games, you do your recruiting and shit, and it's fun.
So how does that work online? Like, do you guys just like all jump on at the same time, and if your teams play each other, you do it? If not, you're just like simming it?
So like, if you don't all have to be online at the same time. Like, you play your game, do all your recruiting or whatever for the week, and then you just check a box that you're ready to advance. And once everyone's ready to advance, it just automatically advances it once everyone's checked off. Otherwise, if like for some reason someone forgot to check it, whoever is the like league commissioner can force advance if need be. But
So are you not actually like you're not actually playing like Madden style then?
no, we are. But like, if the only time any 2 people need to be online at the exact same time is if you have a game against each other, which doesn't always happen because there's
Okay.
you know,
That was actually,
there's the 100
sorry.
something teams in college football, like, and we set it up like we picked all from like the not big schools, like not Georgia or Alabama or Ohio State or Penn State. So I mean, there's like 5 conferences that are the not power conferences. So we spread across those 7 or those 5 conferences. So there's 2 conferences that have 2 teams, 2 human controlled teams in them, and we may or may not play each other, just because you don't play everybody in your conference every year. But yeah, we're in year 2 now.
That's pretty cool.
I am the 2nd worst team in the game.
That
On
that sounds
purpose.
about right.
I mean, like, I picked
Trying to
them.
get those good draft numbers or whatever.
I mean, being bad actually makes it harder to get good players because they don't necessarily want to come to your school.
Oh,
But-
right, because yeah, like college football. Sorry, like in my head, I was thinking of like NFL, but yeah, college football is all about like, well, what school is a player going to get like seen at essentially?
Mm-hmm. Yep, that, and like legitimately, that is one of the things that like players like potentially care about is like, are your games going to be on TV? Is your school good enough that I'm going to get drafted, or this, that, and the other? Like, it's all. You might not. A kid might be like have grown up the town over from you where your school is, but you fucking have no prayer of winning a national championship, so he's not going to come there.
Yeah, actually, that makes sense. I hadn't really thought like, yeah, like I said, in my head, I was just thinking of like NFL, where
Yeah. Nope.
if you suck, you get a bit better draft pick the following season.
Mm-hmm.
So what is it? Is this like the 3rd or 4th year that they brought college football back?
The 2nd.
God, it's only the 2nd year. Jesus,
Yeah.
It feels like it's been back longer than that.
No, I mean that's probably because they like started talking about it being back 2 years before it actually did come back.
That's true, and it's actually called college football now, right? It's not NCAA football.
It's college football 26 this year.
That's stupid.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not NCAA football.
I mean, like
they don't
didn't
have literally
the weird
all
FIFA thing, right?
Yeah, I mean that's different. Yeah, I guess I don't know. Probably a similar reason, but
Well, I know like that there were issues with FIFA as an organization, so EA is just like, cool, it's football club now.
True, yeah. I also think part of that was they didn't want to pay FIFA.
Well, yeah, but like, what better excuse to we don't want to pay you than y'all are racist pieces of shit and shady as hell. So we're gonna change the name of our game and fuck you.
You're not wrong.
Ugh. All right. Well, do we have anything else, or are we done at 51 minutes?
No, I think that's about it. There was a Nintendo Indies this week.
Oh, did you end up watching it?
I did. I posted about it on Discord a bit. I wasn't really. It's a Nintendo Indies. Everything's already on Steam. There's not really much to really talk about. I honestly completely forgot I watched it until I started looking into what it was. There were some weird, interesting games. There's a game called Ball X Pit where it's a roguelite.
I already don't like it. The fact that it's called Ball X Pit, I hate it.
Well, so it's a roguelite game, but it's also a brick breaking game. So like the old school breaking games where it's like you I don't know. There's also like base building in it. It's so many things. It looks really weird and interesting. Um, and then there's a new game coming out from this, or not coming out. It is coming. Yeah, it's not out yet. It should be out soon on Steam called Glaciered, which is this like action RPG, but you play as some sort of weird sea creature, and it's all like underwater combat and stuff. It looked really cool. Um,
Thing.
but yeah, other than that, there wasn't really much else that I remember like sticking out to me. Yeah, there wasn't much. I guess there's this also a game called Well Dweller that I honestly, according to IGN, it was on there. I don't remember seeing it. But it has a pretty cool
It's
art
good when it
style.
made that much of an impact on you.
Yeah. I mean, after looking at it, like watching the like I was watching it during work, so I might not have been paying full attention. But there's no actual release date. It just says coming soon, and I don't know. It'll be here in 2026 on Switch. So yeah, there wasn't really a lot. The indies the Nindies are it's a hard sell to talk about because most things, if like, it's not exclusives. It's maybe console exclusive, but probably not. Like most things are already going to be on Steam or already are on Steam. Like one thing they were like, "Oh, content warnings coming to the Switch too, or to the Switch." I'm like, that game's been out for 8 months. Like no one's playing that game anymore. I don't understand why it's that big of a deal. I wonder what the Steam charts are for content warning. Let's look at that up real quick. Go on Steam charts. In the last 24 hours, maybe under 2,000 people have played the game. So it's like, okay, no one's playing it anymore. It's because it's another one of these like big meme games that came out that got real big when they were first launched. Similar to Repo, similar to Lethal Company and shit like that. That like are like super indie, quick games to put together that are just like, all right, no one plays it, and now it's coming to Switch too. Why? 1,000 people play it. Not even 2,000 people play it. Like that's it. All-time high, 63,000 people. The game's been out since April of 2024. And it's literally playership April 2024, 63,000. May of 2024, 28,000. June of 2024, 10,000. And it's just been in a steady decline pretty much until this month, until the last 30 days, where it's been a little bit more peak players that is over the last 30 days to 2,200. Like no one plays it. I don't understand, but it's like it's an interesting game. Because it's like you and your friends, you are trying to make a viral video by going down into a haunted area. So you get like boom mics, and you're trying to make a viral video with like you can have boom mics, you can have like recorders and things like that, like cameras and stuff. And it's all like it's another game that we were talking about that has what's it called? Proximity chat on it, and the creatures can hear you, and like you're just trying to take video of the creatures and have things happen and try to get as many views as you can in this simulated like system. I don't really know how it works. Like I don't know what the parameters are for the game to determine whether or not it's a good video that you made. But it's like, yeah, like I was interested in playing it when it first came out. I'm glad I never got it because it died down fast. It like no one plays it now. So yeah, it's just the Nindies are a hard thing to be like, hey, yeah, let's talk about, because like it's weird games like Ultimate Sheep Raccoon. What the fuck is that? Like, and it's
Some indie games are just so stupid.
The image of Ultimate Sheep Raccoon is a sheep, a llama, or no, I guess that's a sheep. Yeah, that would make sense. A sheep, a raccoon, and a chicken riding a bike doing some like racing on a track or some shit like that. I don't even know. So like it's hard to talk about these, and like I said, I forgot I watched it. I remembered it was there, and then I was going through some of the games that it was showing. I'm like, did I watch this? I don't remember, and apparently I did.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, like all of these games, or most of them, are either on Steam or will be on Steam. Like,
Yeah,
and they're usually not like premieres
yeah,
with Nintendo. Like, if you're into that, like, I will give credit. Like, there's a good chance that plenty of people are only ever hearing or seeing them because of these Nintendo Directs. Because people with Switches, like, they're not looking at like indie games on Steam and stuff like that.
yeah.
But like in a lot of cases, there's just not a lot going on there for like, continued discussion. Just because,
Yeah.
The stuff that's interesting to one of us is probably already on Steam, and somebody's probably already played it.
Yeah, like I'm going through some of the games that they announced on here, and most of them aren't already out on Steam, so they're coming out on Steam soon. So they're releasing at the same time, but like they're definitely not like it's like there's one game called it's called Neverway that's like a psychological horror RPG life sim, and like it's all like 8-bit or 16-bit graphics, and it's like, all right, it's just these games are definitely not games for everyone kinds of thing, so it's hard to talk about them. And then like there's a game called Is This Seat Taken, where it's like a puzzle game where you're trying to find the best place to put somebody. And it's like, oh, you may put somebody down, but they don't like the noise that somebody else is making, so you have to move them. And like it gives you an arena, and you're just trying to place the person in the right spot or something. I don't know. It was weird. It was interesting, but it was weird. Like I said, Ball X Pit and Glacier were really the only things that like stuck out to me. Everything else, I just was like, all right. Then they had their sizzle reel, their montage at the end, which it's like, what I love indie developers. I want indie developers to get more screen time. I want indie developers to get more notice, because some of the better games I've played recently are from indie developers. But at the same time, like if you're gonna give me a sizzle reel of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games, that like you're gonna give me 2 minutes, so you're gonna give me 20 seconds per game, not 15 seconds per game. Like that's not enough time. You need to show me the game. It's just not enough. I don't think Nintendo does good with sharing the indies. I wish they would do better with the indie stuff, but they probably also don't make a lot of money on it, so they don't care.
Yeah, like it's probably like a small margin that they really get.
Yeah.
But okay. Well, I guess that's gonna do it then.
There,
Got a few more minutes there.
I pushed us to an hour.
But after I subtract the silence, it's going to be just under 1 again.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine.
All right. If you would like to find more of our content, you can head over to www.one-quest.com. You can also help us out by supporting us at patreon.com/onequest. If you can't support us there with your dollars, though, you can go to your favorite podcast platform, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, rate us, review us, subscribe to us. All of those things help. You can also find us on social media, facebook.com/onequestonline, or at @1_quest on Instagram and Twitter. And Blue Sky is at one-quest.com. You can also find, our YouTube channel is youtube.com/onequestvideo. And you can always send us an email to social@one-quest.com. Rich, what is your streaming looking like?
Twitch.tv/b_walnuts. We're aware on video game streaming Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. Demon Souls. We're gonna get into some Monster Hunter over the next few days because they updated it. And yeah, mostly just Demon Souls right now because that game's taking a little bit longer than I expected to beat because this loadout that you guys made me do is hard. It's so hard. It's so hard. Yeah.
Nice. Well, hopefully you're at least still enjoying it.
I am.
And with that, we will be back next week with something else to talk about. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Ideas.